Whoa. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm going to have to go again. Back. Yeah, another one. Let's have a look and see what rigs that I'll be using today. Just like that. See if we can go and catch another one. Well, a very good morning from the Angler's Den. Welcome to another Fishing Tale Films, and this is just a little intro. I'm going to go out on the bankside soon in this video, so I don't think it's just me jabbering away in the Angler's Den, because it won't be. But I'm going to be showing in this film, in this video, some fishing that I did a few years ago on a water that you can no longer fish. So it's a bit of a trip down memory lane, a bit of a blast from the past. And it was back in October when I filmed it a few years ago, and I was fishing for the predators, being mainly zander, because the old lake at Bury Hill Fishery had a good head of zanders, you know, small ones up to a few doubles. And it's a fishery that obviously I knew very well, because I used to manage the shop there between the years of, what was it, 2006 and sort of 2012, and I was heavily involved with a lot of the stuff that went down there, of course, managing the shop and getting involved in what was going on over the fishery as well. Happy days, great days, really enjoyed it. But sadly Bury Hill closed, or the old lake closed, a couple of years ago. It was sold. I know a lot of people were very sad about that. It's such a beautiful water steeped in history, but unfortunately, like they say, nothing lasts forever. And of course, last month on the 28th of February, the other three lakes that were part of the Bury Hill Members Club closed as well. So that was Temple, the Carp Lake, Milton Lake and Bonds Lake closed. So 4 beautiful waters that are no longer available to fish, and that seems to be a bit of a theme for me, because over the last 2 or 3 years I've lost about 4 or 5 venues that I used to fish a lot, for me crucian fishing, for me perch fishing, and it's sad really. You know, I can understand the reasons behind it, because there's always reasons, but it's very, very sad to lose all these waters, especially when I fish in the Surrey, Kent, Sussex area quite a lot. They're sort of my local area, if you like, although I do go far and wide when I need to, when I want to, and if there's a reason to, i.e. big fish. So it's a shame really, but it's a worrying trend, and I'm sure that you watching this have lost quite a few waters close to you that you used to be able to fish that you no longer can. So that's a worrying sort of situation there. So I think the best thing to do is to get out and fish as much as you can, because you never know if that session on a certain water is going to be your last. And I recently joined the club in Sussex, because they had a water that had a nice head of perch in there. So I joined it for that, and then 2 or 3 days ago the club put an announcement out to say that at the end of this month they're going to lose that water as well, because I think the landlord has got other plans for it. So, you know, I was sitting there thinking, is it me? Am I joining these clubs and they're losing their waters? But it's a worrying effect. But anyway, on to today's video. Like I say, it's down at Old Bury Hill on the old lake. I was fishing for the zander, and using sort of tactics that are still current today. When I have fished on the odd occasion for the predators, I still use single barbless hooks, and I hair rig them on wire traces, and I'll go into quite a bit of detail in this video about the setup that I used, and that I still use when I go and do some predator fishing. So hopefully you'll find this of interest. I filmed it for an Obsessed Angler DVD episode, and also a little fishing taster that went on the Bury Hill website many years ago. So, and if you like it, please give the video a thumbs up, because the more thumbs up it gets, the more likes. YouTube see that as positive interaction, and with all like the algorithms that goes on, it's all about algorithms these days. They then push the video out because they see that people are interested in the video, and then it makes the Fishing Tail Films YouTube channel a bit more aware to other anglers out there, because there's still plenty more room for more subscribers, and I think I've hit just over the 4,000 mark now, so I can't thank everyone enough that has come along, visited the website, subscribed and liked, and comments. I've had some brilliant comments on the videos, and hopefully you'll comment underneath this video. If you've lost any waters that were dear to you, please let me know. You don't have to name them, but unless you want to, or you can. And of course, if you use the similar tactics to what I'm using in this video, please drop me a line as well. Anyway, let's get on and go back in time, go back in memory lane. And if you've got very good memories of Bury Hill Fishery, especially on the old lake, you might have a tear in your eye watching this video knowing that you can't fish it anymore. But memories, fishing is all about making memories, and on this particular day it was a brilliant memory. So thanks for watching, give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. And let's now pop along to the old lake Bury Hill Fishery, a blast from the past where I was targeting the zander.
Right, what can I tell you about the old lake? Plenty. It's 12 3/4 acres in size, offers 75 pegs to the visiting anglers. Got the front bank, which is what I'm on today. I'm round about the middle, peg 13. Is it going to be unlucky for some? We'll find out. Got the Wimbledon bank over there, over that far side. And then we've got the long bank just up the side there as well. The lake holds a big stocking of carp, bream and tench. But today there's one species that I'm after, the zander, and maybe a pike. So fingers crossed I'll get a bite or two. I've had a couple of bleeps already, which is encouraging. So let's see what happens, and a bit later on I'll be going through the baits, the rigs, and hopefully how to catch and unhook a zander. Right, the zander in the old lake run to well over double figures, and to the best of my knowledge, I think the best lately has been over 15 pounds, which is an incredible size fish. And it would be great to get anywhere near that today. let's have a look and see what baits I'm going to be using today. Right, they're the baits I'm using. Joey mackerel, which are nice and fleshy. So they're good if you want to use like little pieces on like a hair rig, sort of kebab style, which is quite good. Then we've got similar to the eel, which is the lamprey, which is soft and fleshy, gives off lots of sort of juices. It's quite a good bait to use. It's quite a good attractant for the zander and the pike. And then we've got the good old spratts, which are small baits, which is ideal for the zander. There's a sprat there, and I'll just be using like just cutting that off like little section tails on a single hook. And roach as well. They're always one of the best ones to use. And I won't be using that whole. I'll be using that just in, again, maybe the head of it or just a tail section as well. And that's the baits that I'm going to be concentrating on today. Let's have a look at some essential tools that you need when you're predator fishing. If you ain't got the right tools, then you shouldn't even start to fish for them. So I've got here some long nose pliers and a set of short ones, and then I've got an array of all different types of forceps. Obviously I use more than this, but this is just a little sample of what I'm using. And it's so important to have the right equipment. There's some obviously long 12-inch forceps. I've got some 7-inch, and I've got some short 5-inch ones for if they're just sort of hooked inside the mouth, which is the aim of the game. And then I've got some trace pliers as well. So you must, when you turn up for predator fishing, you need at least a good selection of tools to do the job correctly, because the idea is to get the hooks out as quick as possible and as safely as possible, and to return the fish back to the water nice and safely. Right, I've got my rig wallet with me, which I always bring when I'm obviously fishing for the predators. There's 3 basic rigs that we're using today. They're all single hook rigs, which is now the policy at Bury Hill. No trebles allowed for dead baiting. We're looking in more detail in a minute, but there's the single hook rig, the single hook rig with a hair, and then there's also the double single hook rig, which is like a pennel sort of rig, so you can use a whole small dead bait if you want to. So let's have a good close-up view of the rigs and how to use them. Right, let's look at the 3 rigs that are allowed for dead baiting now at Bury Hill. There's the simple rig first of all. That's the single hook rig, which is to a 30-pound trace. And then at the other end there's a swivel attachment, so you can attach your line to it, which needs to be minimum of 12 pounds. Okay, so there's the rig there. We've got the double single hook rig set up. Again, 30-pound trace and a swivel on the end. So if you want to use like a whole dead bait, you can use that there, like so. And then we've got the single hook with a hair rig. And I'm using today I'm using one system on a single hair rig and the other one just on a single hook rig. Again, that's 30-pound trace wire and attached to a swivel. And as I've said already, minimum 12 pounds line for the zander. And they're the 3 rigs that we're using today. Out in front of me I've got 2 more pieces of kit that is needed to fish for the predators. And that's a nice cushioned and large unhooking mat. Bigger the better. And a large landing net as well. This is 42 inch and the minimum here for the predator fishing is 36 inches. So bigger the better. A real positive take, and it looks like we're into a fish. So that was on the hair rig piece of roach, and away we go. Feels a decent fish, not too bad, but let's move around so I can get ready to land it. like a very small zander. There we go, safely in the net. Not the monster that we're after, but it's a fish all the same. That's the first one in the net. Let's put him onto the unhooking mat. Let's have a close-up look of him. He's only a baby, but it's a start. Right, here we go. Like I say, he's only a small one. And in fact, with the beauty of these hooks, I don't even need me tools. I can just pop it out just like that. Look how easy that was. And there we go. Tiny little Z. Just a little baby. Hopefully there'll be bigger ones to come than that, but get a nice close up of him. And even a little fish, he got some right big old choppers on him. But it's a start anyway. Right, these fish may look menacing, but I can assure you they're actual babies. Don't just plonk them straight in, because they may not always recover, so you need to just sit and hold them for a while. Get closer if you need to, Becca, and just hold him in nice and gently. Just wait for him to kick. He's getting ready, you can feel him. That's it, and away he goes. Before I rebait and cast back out again, let's have a look and see the setup that I'm using today. I'm using 2 rods on a rod pod setup, bite alarms, and I've got really nice sort of light sort of hangers, because I don't want them to be too heavy, because if the zander feel any resistance, they'll just drop the bait straight away. So I've got 2 12-foot 2 3/4 pound test curve rods. To give you an idea, these are the Fox Warrior ES's, which do the job nicely for me. I can do me carp fishing and me predator fishing with them. So there's 2 of them. 12-pound main line, which is the minimum you need, or you have to use here at Bury Hill for the predator fishing and the specimen. And then looking at the business end, you can see here, this is like the key is being nice and sensitive. Got my £12 line. You can see there I've got swivel with £12 main line tied to a 1 1/4 ounce lead, and that's free running. So as soon as they pick the bait up, they won't feel any of this weight at all. It's nice. Got a nice big eye on there, so it slides up and down. Got a shock bead to act as a buffer and to stop the swivel from obviously getting caught up with the other swivel. And then I've got another, that swivel there that's attached to me 30 pounds trace is then tied on. It's basically a 5-turn water nut. And then down to the business end, I've had 2 fish now on this setup, and that's the single hook. It's a size 6 hair rigged piece of roach, and that's the most productive one so far. So, and that's obviously, as I've showed earlier on, hair rigged on with a bait stop, nice and sensitive, nice and light. And in fact, my 2 bites have been proper runs. You know, it's even been taking line. So that way I know that they're not feeling any resistance at all when they're taking the bait. So it's looking good. It's had another really good take, and I'm into another fish here. Feels a better fish than the last one. So feels a good one, this. Feels a much better one, so putting up a good account of itself. Again on roach hair rig bait. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Nice swell coming up there. Let's have a look, see what it is. Yeah, it's a Zander. Not a big one, but it's a bit bigger than the last one, I think, although not much. And there we go. Oh. Job done. Right, let's pop him out. Let's look after him. Well, I was just rebaiting my other rod when this one went tearing off. So let's unhook this fella. Slightly bigger than the last fish I had. Just inside, so let's get the forceps out. The hook's just in the inside of his mouth, so there you go. Nice easy process. Let's have a look at this little fella. Ooh. Always be careful with him. He's got very sharp teeth. Very sharp teeth, and he's probably knocking on for, I don't know, 2.5, 3 pounds. Again, a small fish, but it's another Zander, so that's good stuff. Got a few little leeches on him. Spend most of the time sitting on the bottom looking for some prey. There you go. Let's pop this one back nice and safely, and let's get back out again. And let's always give them plenty of time to recover before you put the fish back. So let's just hold him gently, give him lots of time to recover, and they'll soon kick off when they're ready. Just hold him there. It won't be long now before he gets going. See his gills going, his fins are swimming around, he'll be off soon. You can feel him going. He's almost ready. That's it. Whoa. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm going to have to go again. Back. Yeah, another one. This is a better one. Quick. Oh yes, bloody hell. This one's running. This feels a much better fish because this one's actually taking line, so, and it's hugging the bottom. I mean, carp have been known to take a dead bait, and but this is certainly bigger than the other fish. I can guarantee that, without a doubt. So again, on the hair rig bait, roach is what they're definitely going for. There he comes. I think this is a pike. It is indeed. We've caught ourselves a pike here. Let's get the net ready. And let's get ready to lay. Oh yes. Oh yes. Absolutely brilliant. There we go. Let's move that out of the way. It's a nice pike. Let's see where he's. Oh. See the beauty of a big unhooking mat. If that was a little one, he'd be on the bank now, so as you can see, he's still lively. Right, here we go. That's the hook popped out, nice and gently. Nice and gently does it. Just stick him in the water to recover before we have a good look at him. It's probably about 6-7 pounds, this fella. Let's just put him back. What a lovely looking fish. And there we go. Pike for the obsessed angler. It's quite a lean fish. Still got a lot more growing to do yet, but what a nice fish. And like we do for the zander, make sure he's fully recovered before we send him off on his way. Well, I think he was telling us he was ready, so absolutely brilliant. As well as natural baits that ooze sort of bits of blood and juice and scent, which attracts the predator fish. When the going gets really hard in the winter time, when it's really cold and the temperatures are really low, Predator Plus is something I use not just for predators as well. I mean, I use it from the perch, which I guess are a predator, but say on Milton Lake here, and I've had some real good in conjunction with using up chopped worm, and it's blood red, it's really pungent, and it gives off lots of scent. And obviously, because it's being red as well, it's an attractant. And a good way to use it is to, with a syringe, is pump it into your baits, so it sort of seeps out, and it's been quite productive. So it's always a good one to remember for them colder days when it's hard going. These are the bait stops that I'm using, nice and fluorescent, so they're attractant. So when that's placed onto your bait, it's quite visual as well, so fish can home in on that as well. And because they're fleshy and they're not hard like the normal ones you would say use for carp fishing, when they mouth the bait, then they probably suspect nothing more. So these are good ones to use, and ideal for hair rigging your baits. And just cut them off, little scissors there you want them, and job done. well, as predicted, the sun's come out, blue sky everywhere, and it's not really ideal, and I've probably not had a bite. I've had one little bleep in the last sort of 2 hours, so I'm just hoping that we get a bit more cloud cover. There's cloud coming over. In fact, it's too nice a day. It's really warm as well. So maybe we're going to have a mild winter, you never know. But I'm really looking for sort of the conditions to deteriorate, the light to go down, and I'm sure we'll probably nick one a little bit later on. But that's the way it goes. That's predator fishing for you. Conditions need to be really spot on to get a good bit of action. So got me coffee. I'm hoping that might get me a bite or two. But let's carry on and see what we can do a bit later. And I've just had the faintest little bite there, and we're into another one. It's the first one I've had on my left hand rod. There we go. Looks like a small zander. It is indeed. A small zander. Not the biggest of Zeds, but it's the first fish we've had for like 2.5 hours, so it's very welcome. Just a little bite, the bite alarm just went up very, very slowly and deliberately. And let's just pop the hook out. Ooh. There we go. Nicely does it. Not the biggest of fish. That's they've all pretty much been the same size, all the zander, but see them in the sunlight there. The day's nearly finished. I've had 3 zander and a nice pike, so I've enjoyed my day. It's been good. Been catching a few predators, which is what I set out to do. Hair rig baits obviously was the way to go today, and I can't grumble at that. So I think when it gets a bit colder, I'll be back down here again. Perhaps bring the Obsessed angling series back down here again, and see if we can catch ourselves an even bigger zander and an even bigger pike. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye. This feels a much better fish because this one's actually taking line, so, and it's hugging the bottom. I mean, carp have been known to take a dead bait, and but this is certainly bigger than the other fish. I can guarantee that, without a doubt. So again, on the hair rig bait, roach is what they're definitely going for. There he comes. I think this is a pike. It is indeed. We've caught ourselves a pike here. Let's get the net ready. And let's get ready to lay. Oh yes. Oh yes.